Well, the GeForce RTX 3050 is the latest on Nvidia's Ampere architecture, and we see it as the latest member of the RTX 3000 series family. This is the one graphic card that's supposed to come in at a low price and at the same time give you access to ray tracing and DLSS. We have with us here today the Zotac GeForce RTX 3050 Twin Edge, where we'll deep dive into its product specifications, its features, as well as run some gaming tests and see how it does before we sum up our thoughts on it. Here we have Zotac GeForce RTX 3050 Twin Edge, a twin-fan GPU at a small size of 224mm in length, 116.3mm in width, and 39.2mm thick, making it a dual-slot GPU, which is a great size that can easily fit in many PC cases, including mini ITX cases. On the underside, you get two 11-blade fans in black against this dark metallic grey frame which you will see all around this GPU. The fan sports a Zotac logo and a brand name and adopts a Zotac freeze fan stop design which automatically stops the fan when the GPU is idle. To get better cooling performance out of this GPU, you could also install Zotac's gaming Firestorm software, which will give you more control over the fan's performance, allowing you to adjust each fan independently for better cooling efficiency and fan noise. On the reverse, you get a solid metal backplate of the same metallic grey with some cutout designs to aid heat dissipation. This GPU also supports up to 3 DisplayPort 1.4 and a single HDMI 2.1 port. On the front, you get a subtle Zotac branding logo and GeForce logo, as well as the power input for an 8-pin PCIe cable. There is no RGB on this graphics card, it's got no frills, it's very simple looking, and it does what it's meant to do. This GPU also comes with a power consumption of 130 watts with a recommended power supply of 450. Here we compare the specs of the RTX 3050 against that of the RTX 3060, both of which are targeted at 1080p gaming. Having significantly lesser CUDA cores and memory performance, at a first glance I'm thinking this could present slightly reduced graphic options for the RTX 3050 in order to achieve playable frame rates. But the low power consumption can be attractive for some who are looking for a budget PC build, and you won't have to spend unnecessarily on power supply. Now, without making further assumptions, let's see how the Zotac Twin Edge RTX 3050 performs in popular games. The RTX 3060 would have been the sweet spot for quite a while now for 1080p gaming. But with the lack of supply out there and the heavily marked up prices, this RTX 3050 launch could be quite timely to deal with the insane price hikes as well as lack of availability. Now the key question here is, can the RTX 3050 perform well enough for 1080p gaming? Based on the test we've run earlier, we do see challenges getting the RTX 3050 to perform in higher graphics settings for 1440p gaming. And when we tested on 1440p, we're testing on 16:9 and not ultra-wide at 21:9 yet. For more demanding games like Watch Dogs Legion or RDR2, and I think the same can be said for Cyberpunk 2077, in order to game at 1440p, you will have to drastically reduce your game settings to low settings or perhaps barely making medium settings in order for the frame rates to be decent and playable, and in this instance I'm referring to at least 60 frames per second. That said, at 1080p gaming, a high settings or even in some games ultra settings is totally feasible running on the RTX 3050. I've not had a chance to test the RTX 3060 yet, but looking closely in the same category, which is the RX 6600, we do see that 1440p gaming is still decent running on high settings. But let's not forget that the AMD RX 6600 goes for $379 as MSRP. That is $50 more than the RTX 3060 and $130 more than the RTX 3050. So take that $130 and multiply that by the factor of what retail prices are actually going at above MSRP. We have to acknowledge that if you ain't going to be upgrading to a 1440p monitor and gonna be sticking at 1080p for quite a while, then I'd say don't waste the money. Now, if you're still holding on to a RTX 2000 series graphics card, such as the RTX 2060 for example, you may have seen some reviews to say that the performance of the RTX 3050 is very close to that of the RTX 2060, and in some specific games it may not outperform. But it is worth noting that the RTX 3050 consumes a lot less power than the RTX 2060 and are built on newer physical technology that can be more efficient in terms of cooling. It runs on Gen 2 ray tracing instead of Gen 1, and most importantly adopts the Ampere architecture rather than the Turing architecture used in the 2000 series graphics card, and that can bring you faster performance and better graphics. And if you're holding on to a graphics card older than the RTX 2000 series, the RTX 3050 does bring about ray tracing and DLSS, which was otherwise not available for an immersive gaming experience. In short, I'd say that the RTX 3050 does what it's supposed to do for 1080p gaming. This graphics card isn't entirely new. It's been launched for a while now for laptops, and now they're bringing it to PC, where it should perform better with better cooling capabilities. Specifically to the Zotac RTX 3050 Twin Edge, it's good for what it does. Some RGB fans may find it disappointing because there's no RGB on this GPU at all, but its smallish size for a 2-fan GPU is amazing. Previously, I did review the Zotac RTX 3070 Amp Hollow, and I did have some trouble installing it in some of the mini ITX cases because of its thicker width. But this RTX 3050 Twin Edge is just sleek, and I'll say that this is the second smallest graphics card that I've ever reviewed. But I think it packs quite a punch. Let me know what you think about this graphics card. I hope that it goes out at MSRP wherever you're located at, but be glad to hear how it's looking like in your region. And in the meantime, we've just built in another mini ITX case from Lian Li, and we'll be sharing the review video soon with you, so do subscribe to us so that you get notified when the video is live. And until then,